The Democratic Socialists of America put to the test last night in Wisconsin, and they lost. DSA-backed Francesca Hong losing the Democratic primary for governor by less than 1%. Just over 3,000 votes separating her and Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who will now face off against Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany in November. Joining me now is Wisconsin Congressman Bryan Steil. Congressman, so she was leading in some of these polls, Congressman, by 20 points in some cases. What happened yesterday?
Well, Wisconsin is used to close elections. That's what played out last night in the gubernatorial primary. In many ways, they resurrected Mr. Crowley after he got out of the race. He obviously came back in the home stretch. A lot of people in the state of Wisconsin, actually across the country, know how radical Francesca Hong is. People are about to learn how radically left David Crowley is over the final 83 days of this campaign. I think it's going to be a race to the finish. I think Tom Tiffany, the Republican candidate who came through his primary last night, is going to be our next governor.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because and Politico has a really good take on this morning, that the movement had been riding high off of string of primary victories in this cycle. But then Francesca Hong's loss, now there's a lot of finger pointing happening within their party. Your thoughts on that?
Well, races in Wisconsin are close. It's high voter participation. David Crowley got the establishment behind him in the home stretch of this race, and the establishment delivered a few more votes than Francesca Hong. But when you look at the two of them, their policies are actually very similar in many ways. Both have policies of raising taxes on hardworking families in Wisconsin. You can contrast that with Tom Tiffany's plan of lowering the tax burden on folks who are hardworking here in our state. And so Francesca Hong was the individual people knew. They didn't like her policies and rejected it. They're about to learn how left and radical David Crowley is as well. And when they learn how left David Crowley is, I think they'll reject those same liberal policies once again in our state.
Yeah, well, certainly all eyes yesterday were on this race, but there's a lot of eyes on what's happening in New Jersey. I want to get your take on this because New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill is under fire right now. She admitted more than 6,000 non-citizens were added to the state's voter rolls in 2023 and 2024. She's blaming a software error for this discrepancy. Congressman, you and three of your colleagues, you sent a letter to the Garden State's lieutenant governor asking for more information on the state's compliance with federal election laws. So what are you expecting to find in this investigation?
Well, there's a general principle that I believe in, that U.S. elections should be for U.S. citizens only. In the case of New Jersey, it's pretty clear non-citizens got on the voter rolls, and in fact, roughly 400 actually voted in our elections. There's two things that broke down. There's finger pointing between the governor's office and the state and the vendor. I want to get to the bottom of that so this never happens again. But there's also an underlying problem that's not getting a lot of attention, which is under federal law, anytime an individual goes and gets a driver's license, they're presented with voter registration materials. This is a real problem when you have a state like New Jersey that provides voter registration or driver's licenses. They provide driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. So illegal immigrants in New Jersey are receiving voter registration material as required under federal law. That's nuts. This is our opportunity to go in and put in place important voter integrity legislation at the federal level. Not only the SAVE Act, which is making sure individuals are who they say they are through photo ID, as well as citizenship verification, but we need to go in and edit the underlying law so that individuals who are non-citizens, who are receiving driver's licenses, are not receiving voter registration materials at the same time. In many ways, Congress broke the underlying law. It's the reason Congress needs to go in and fix it, and why voter integrity legislation is so absolutely essential.
Yeah, well, okay, you mentioned this, Congressman. So the Senate wasn't able to pass the Save America Act before they left for their August recess. And it does face an uphill battle when lawmakers come back to Washington. So, where do we go from here? Because there's a lot on the agenda. And again, we always say this, there's a short calendar window because you'll come back, at the end of this month, and then the Senate comes back, but then it's off to the midterms before you know it.
Yeah, those of us in the House that support the SAVE Act, like myself, are often frustrated with our colleagues in the United States Senate who can't get the legislation across the line. These are common sense reforms. For example, not allowing non-citizens to receive voter registration material when they go and get a driver's license is a no-brainer, as well as the provisions in the SAVE Act. photo identification and citizenship verification. They're popular because they're common sense. There are other ways that we can try to get this through the United States Senate at the 50-vote threshold. I've talked a lot to Senate Budget Chair Ron Johnson on this topic. What can we get done? But at the end of the day, the real solution, the long-term solution, is to elect more conservative Republicans to the United States Senate so that we can move this and other forms of legislation through and across the line. That vote is going to be in front of voters across this country on November 3rd, and it's our opportunity to fix the Senate by electing conservative Republicans to the body.
There's a lot on the agenda for you and your colleagues. I've got Ashley Davis on set with me. She wants to jump in here. Ashley, go ahead.
Sure. Hi, Congressman. How are you?
Good.
There's three things I have for you. The Stop Insider Trading Act, or do you think that the Senate will actually ever take that one up? And then for you guys, when you come back the week before Labor Day, will you be able to do the Senate CR as well as the Russia sanctions bill?
Well, I'll do them in order. One, I think there is a huge need to pass my bill, the Stop Insider Trading Act, which prevents members of Congress from trading stocks. Look, if you want to trade stocks day in and day out, there's a place for that. It's called Wall Street. If you're coming to Washington, you should be serving the American people. My legislation that passed the House says exactly that. You can't buy and sell stock if you're in Congress. It's popular. People understand it. The Senate tried to move this through on unanimous consent, and shocker, the Democrats voted to block it. Can they get this done in the home stretch with limited floor time? It's unclear. But this is the type of reforms the American people want to see getting through the United States Senate. And so there's a lot of work that the Senate needs to do to turn this country around in a period of time where we have the full majority. On the CR, nobody wants to see the federal government shut down. It's positive that the Senate took the House's lead, moved through the CR so we don't have the shenanigans leading up to this deadline once again where funding expires at the end of September. That's positive. I'm of the view that the House will be able to pass that and make sure that we keep the government open and operational until we get next year's spending bill completely done.
Of everything that you're talking about, what is the most important thing that you've got to see passed, besides the legislation that you yourself have sponsored?
Well, I think the election integrity legislation is absolutely essential between now and the midterms. You also have to pass the CR. Those are the two front-of-mind issues. I would also like to see the Senate pass the Clarity Act. That's digital asset regulatory reform that we passed in the House now over a year ago. This is our opportunity to make sure that the United States is in the golden era of digital assets and that we continue to lead the globe in this regard. The Senate has been slow on this bill.
There you go.
We are positive that there's some floor time coming up. I'd love to see that get done as well.
Congressman Bryan Steil, we've got some breaking data, but thank you so much for your time.